You found it? You found the giant map? You did it, Flame! I thought we had lost the giant map! Way to go, Flame! Good morning, dragons! I'm Mr. Salerno, and this is Flame, and look what Flame found! This is so great, the giant map is back! Way to go, Flame! And we want to welcome you to the News of Camelot! Today's Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022, Flame! And before we get going on our very exciting giant map show, let's hear what Rima has to say. Take it away, Rima.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please have a moment of silence.
Way to go, Rima. We're so glad you led us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the moment of silence. But Flame, the sun is going to rise today at 7:14 in the morning, and it's going to set at 5:32 in the evening. And dragons, the map, the giant map, it made it back thanks to Flame. And there's always a lot happening in our wonderful country. And Flame, that's a great idea because there's so much that's happening. We need to use the giant map to almost work through some of the dates in the calendar, right? So today is February 2nd, and it is a unique holiday called Groundhog Day that takes place, right here, very good, Flame, right here in the central part of Pennsylvania, in a town called Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and there is a very special groundhog named Phil, Punxsutawney Phil, that according to tradition, if a groundhog comes out of its burrow, right, on this day in particular, as it sees its shadow, the tradition has it that it gets scared and it runs back into its burrow, which means that Phil is predicting 6 more weeks of winter. No shadow, if Phil does not have a shadow, that it doesn't get scared. So that means that we will have an early spring, and the groundhogs and all the animals and all of Punxsutawney Phil's friends will want to come out sooner, right, to indicate spring. So that's neat. So that's in central Pennsylvania. And then yesterday, you might have seen at the very end of the news, we celebrated the Lunar New Year. And the Lunar New Year, dragons, is one of the most important celebrations of the year, especially in the East or Southeast Asian cultures, right? Like in China or Vietnam or in North and South Korea, just to name a few countries. But it's also celebrated here in the United States, and it was celebrated, actually started yesterday. It's not just one day, but it started yesterday because of the new moon. Right, in some of our most populated cities in the United States that have a large number of Asian Americans that celebrated the New Year with festivals maybe in big cities, right? They might be over here in Los Angeles, where they celebrate quite a bit, in Chicago, Illinois, right over here, right? And there's a big Lunar New Year festival right next to you, Flame, right where you're pointing here in Atlanta. And the biggest population of Asian Americans resides in New York City, our biggest populated city in the United States. And New York City, dragons, is way over here, right on the edge of the country. And one of the neat things that we want to pay a special shout out and tribute to is Black History Month. And we saw the most excellent glimpse into Black History Month in Miss Ariclet's class, right? And she highlighted a wonderful African American named Victor Green, and he wrote the Green Book. And the Green Book originated right there in New York City as well, and was published for 30 years, and all across the United States. We might not have had slavery, but there were terrible segregation laws that separated whites and blacks, and some white business owners did not allow black or African Americans who might have been driving a car or might have been on a bus to use their hotels or restaurants or shops as they traveled. The Green Book, which was written by Victor Green, allowed black people and black families to know which establishments, which places were safe, where they could go without feeling like they were segregated, or even if when the sun goes down, they might even get hurt or might get hurt really badly. So for 30 years, this was published, and it was a mainstay and so important to travelers back in that 30-year period. So a big shout out, a big round of applause for Victor Green for not only braving those areas, but for writing so much over 3 decades worth of information where Black people could feel safe and know that they were being treated well. Da-da-da! It's time for the birthday box! Flame, when you get the giant map out, it puts me in such a good mood. As well do birthdays. But Dragons, you're not going to believe this. One birthday today. We had one birthday yesterday, right? We have one more birthday today, and that is Thomas Van Veen. Way to go, Thomas. Happy birthday to you in 5th grade. Happy birthday, Thomas. And we had, as you know, Dragons, like we said, we wanted some Olympic trivia, right? We wanted some Black History Month trivia, and we combined the forces to say that we had a special athlete 20 years ago that had our first gold medal. Any Black athlete that had their first gold medal in the Winter Olympics, right? Vanetta Flowers. And Vanetta Flowers teamed up with Jill Bakken to win gold at the Salt Lake City, Utah Winter Olympics. And we said to the Dragons, what event was it in? Do we remember what event that was in? And we had so many Dragons that submitted the correct answer of bobsled. The bobsled, the 2-person bobsled. It was the first ever women's bobsled event, and these 2 wonderful women, led by Vanetta Flowers, got the gold medal. And we had some Dragons that got that right, like Marcus in 5th grade. Bam. Lucas in 5th grade. Bam. Very nice. Amos in 3rd grade. Wow, very cool. Bam. Olivia said bobsledding. Way to go in 4th grade. Bam. Sloan Bregman, bobsled. Bam. Natalie in 4th grade. Parhat. Bam. Devansh. Bam. And Alora. Nice job. Bam. Maydot. Yes. And Will in 4th grade. Nice job, Will, putting a guess in. So, way to participate, Dragons. We appreciate that. We appreciate all your contributions, right? And we certainly appreciate you staying optimistic. Look at the bright side, Dragons. There's so much that's going well for us. We want to keep a smile on everyone's faces, so do your part, just like Flame did when he got out the giant map. So, on behalf of Flame, I'm Mr. Slano. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Have a wonderful week, Dragons, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.